lack of safe, effective exercise programs for pregnant and postpartum women. She's got all the certificates that are needed. She has a tailor-made program called Fit Moms that was launched in 2018. And today, Natalie is going to be telling us all about Fit Moms, and of course, where's the gap in the market when it comes to all things fitness for pregnant women and for post women that are in the postmortem phase of their lives. So often as women, we think that, hey, once you're pregnant, stay away. You're going to alarm certain things. You mustn't, especially old school, I'm talking from an African, very old school background. You can't do this, you can't do that. No. The baby this and the baby that. Sometimes it becomes very contradicting as to the information that we get. And today we're going to be informed. And as I said before, our bodies are a temple of God and they need to be taken care of. I mean, you are having to carry that baby for 9 months. How is your body? Is it fit enough to carry the baby? And that is what we are going to be having a conversation about now. So moms out there, grandmas, aunties, everybody, please listen in. Call somebody right now. Take a pen and paper. We're going to be learning a lot from Natalie Daniels. Natalie Daniels, without further ado, how are you?
I'm very well. Good morning, TC. Good morning to all of our listeners and all the ladies. Let me take this opportunity to say Happy Women's Month. We don't just need a day. Whole month, eh? It's a whole month. We take it. We take it.
The whole year. It's our year. Why not?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
Natalie, it's such a
Thank you so
joy.
much.
It's such a
Thank
joy
you.
and a pleasure to have you here. I'm very excited for this session. I know that we are going to learn so much about our bodies, about us as women, women of God, the women that have been entrusted to bring life. So,
Exactly.
Natalie, tell us a little bit about your journey from, noticing a gap in the maternal fitness space by creating Fit Moms. Share with us a little bit about how Fit Moms has come into the market.
Okay, maybe let me first start by saying, yes, I know I said now earlier, Happy Women's Month to everyone, but I think this is a time and a season that we're also living in as women, where I'm also thinking we need to be very much intentional about just honoring women. Sometimes we walk around in the shops and we see a lady with a lovely outfit and we feel so, nothing is stopping you, girl, from telling that lady, I like your outfit. Let's acknowledge women. I think this is all these words that I'm throwing around, intentional acknowledgement. This is what women basically need. We thrive over these words of affirmation. So thanks so much for that intro. And thanks again for the opportunity afforded to me. And TC, thank you to you for all that you do for us as women and for local businesses and just for putting it out there. And so power to you, girl. Let's continue having that vibe and giving that energy because women, sometimes we do need that little thumbs up. We need somebody fixing our crown now and again. So that's where I come in the picture. Like I
Yay.
said, I'm a mom of two boys and one husband, and I would like to keep it that way. And yes, I'm all about woman empowerment and youth development. And in modern society, we find out we're wearing so many hats. We're wearing the t-shirt, we're wearing all these different hats. So there's the Fit Moms hat, you're wearing the Fatherhood of Foundation South Africa cap, and you're wearing the jacket of Columba leadership. So these are all the things that I'm involved in. And sometimes as a woman, we've just got to zoom into self. So when I was pregnant 12 years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I remember that week, TC, when I was in labor, early signs of labor. And I remember my sister-in-law just telling me, you've got to squat. I didn't know zilch about why am I squatting? What's the squatting benefits of it? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And I think prior to that, after that, I realized, you know what, I need to get into a space where I can empower women. And so, yes, I was a dancer before, believe it or not, and it's the performing in me, hey. And so I was like, how do I
Definitely.
a whole fitness and the dancing and putting it all together. So as you mentioned prior, I was one of the fitness coaches for Preggy Bellies, and the company unfortunately liquidated. And then one of my moms was like, Nat, you cannot just leave us like this. Start your own thing. And I'm like, me, Natalie, shy old girl from East London. I'm a Montinana. I'm local, the Eastern
Emonti Mdanzane.
Charming,
Girl.
I'm there for it, Buffalo Flats. So shout out to Buffalo Flats, East London.
Wow.
And I was like, me, shy old woman. And that's, I think, how we all go through as girls, as women. We're like, no, not me. God, don't choose me. But sometimes when we pray for something, sometimes the breakthrough or the answered prayer does not look like you expected it. And then here I was training with this company, and company liquidated. And one of the moms was like, Natalie, now why don't you start your own thing? I'm like, I don't know the first thing about a business. I'm qualified as a trainer, so what do I do? The venue where I was training said, Nat, you've got the space here. Again, a woman. So first one, the woman that my preggy lady that said, Nat, why don't you do your own thing? And then the second one, the woman, the owner of the, actually, we give a shout out to her as well, Bosch X Studios out in Rondebosch. Woman, business owned lady. She said, Natalie, you've got the venue. Why don't you just do it here? Second woman. So why am I sharing this? Sometimes you're going to need another woman to call forth something within you. Maybe you seated there, you're listening right now. You're like, Natalie, yes, I don't have that woman. Fine. Be intentional about the circle around you. So, yes, I obviously saw there is a lack of support for women in the community. Hence, I thought, let me then train, let me do this. I used to train, like I said, out in Rondebosch. And then the beautiful L word, which we don't really love, lockdown happened, and we're like, you know what? What now? I think everybody was running around in a frenzy as your business. And I can recall I don't know if you remember, he said everybody was doing everything online. Everybody was, everybody was fitness coaches, everybody was baking, cooking online, everybody was doing it. And then I was like, you know what? We can't train in Rondebosch. I then brought my fitness studio all the way back home. I remember I'm actually sitting now here in my dining area lounge. And I remember that day, and I was doing Facebook Live. I don't know if you remember those days. We were doing Facebook Live. I was doing 45-minute
Yes.
sessions in
Yes.
here. And I'm like, oh God, is anyone even watching Natalie? And then 2 weeks later, you would see your likes, all those thumbs up, and you're like, oh my gosh, people are literally watching. Then what I'd done, I think a couple of months after that, I realized, but the same space you're using in your lounge is the space that you have right here in your garage. Now, again, why am I sharing this? Because women empower women. Women call forth others. I've got another shout out to another lady, Samantha. What's Samantha's surname? I don't know, Samantha. We will add your surname later. But she's out in Strandfontein, also running a fitness studio. And I went to her, I said, girl, I want to start something similar like this in my area, which is the Bayview area. And she's like, Nats, go for it. Remember, women, what do we sometimes do at TC? We see each other as competition. There is no competition. My husband always says, at Nando's, KFC, Wimpy, everything is right in the same row, but everyone has customers. And I think once we get to that space as well, we realize it's not a competition. What I have, you can get. Let's empower each other. And so then when she said, Natalie, why not? I then converted my garage into a fitness studio. So now I'm running a community fitness studio right out here in Bayview, empowering women that's pregnant, empowering ladies from my community. I mean, my oldest lady, again, a shout out. Why am I doing this? Call the ladies that have helped you. Like they always say, we're standing or we're sitting on the shoulders
Yes,
of
on the
giants,
shoulders of
and
giants.
all
Yeah.
these ladies empowered me. My biggest shout out is to my mom. My mom passed 2007. She passed of breast cancer. And that's where I get my love, my care, my support, because she was that. She always used to, call others and assist and help. And sometimes it's not in some of our women and our ladies in society's nature, because there's just so much happening. So why the urgent need for mothers in community to find that space? I always say it's about stability, it's about support, and it's about stamina. Everybody's living a crazy life. Like I said earlier, we're wearing all these different hats. We part of all these organizations. You're working, you're a full-time mom, but you're still working and you're running a business. And sometimes you just need to more like zone into self. So with my business, I said, you know what, Natalie, come in, support women. And I always say, be the support that you never had. And hence, that's how I started Fit Moms. It's such a beautiful experience. I mean, I always get invited to Melomed, antenatal classes. Now and again, you can catch me on Espresso, on SABC3 as well. I do some of their fitness slots. So I've really, again, people have called forth that greatness, like we say. We always speak. I work with an organization, Columba Leadership, and we speak about eliciting the greatness that's within. I always say you've got to practice what you preach, and how I learned that, I even bring it into my fitness studio. But women need support, TC. We need support. We need stability, and sometimes in the craziness of everything, we need to find that stamina to do the cooking, do all of this, and then on top of that, you get a little what's this little tag thing that you're pregnant, and you're like, oh my gosh, my whole world crumbles. It's not about that. And why I started pushing my program, or getting ladies under Fit Moms program, is literally to be that, to be the support for them, to find a space where they can just be real and be authentic, and find who they are as well.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you go to the gynae, you do all of these things, but you don't have a space that you can just be yourself and be real. And that's how basically my journey has started.
Wow.
I think from that whole thing that I just shared now was like how important your circle.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I want to be that support to any mom that's in labor. And I mean, I work with them from first trimester up until Labor Day, or let me say Labor night, where they give me those late night calls, and they say, Nat, it's time. And I'm like, okay, girl, I'm getting my ball. Let's breathe. But it's about that support.
Yeah.
It's about, I can pick up that call, that phone, and who's that woman that I can call? And maybe that's one of my challenges now to you as well. Who's that girl that you can call when the electricity unit is on 8.5, when the fuel is on 100 rand, and the light is blinking? Who's that girl that you can call? Do you have those ladies that you can call? And for me, it's about that support. Exactly.
The community.
That was a mouthful, eh?
Yeah, but a much needed mouthful. Your community is everything. And as women, we do need community, and we thrive within the right community. So it's about finding those right sisters for you, those queens that, as Natalie is saying, that, will root for you, those that will call forth what it is that is inside of you, that God has already created in you. So, Natalie, also just, another thing, may your mother's soul rest in peace, continue to rest in peace. The way you have just drawn the picture of who she is to us, I'm sure that she has a huge influence in who you are today. And indeed, we do sit on shoulders of giants, our mothers, the women that have gone before us, and that's another reason why we push forward, because, the women that have gone before. If we look at the Women's Day, Women's Month, it's really about bringing homage to women that have gone before us. Now, Natalie, what are sort of the misconceptions that may be there? I mentioned some of them earlier when we started the conversation about exercise during pregnancy and postpartum recovery?
So a postpartum, obviously, sorry, postpartum recovery. So misconceptions, exercise is not safe. A lot of the misconceptions out there is pregnant women should not exercise. They should avoid all physical activity. They're also saying exercise will induce labor. And also the big one, they say it's going to cause a miscarriage. Some of the other misconceptions is you do not do high intensity training. But if you do see some of Natalie's videos and Fit Moms and some of the pregnancy videos that's out there, it is obviously, if you look at the benefits of, I mean, we spoke now about the misconceptions, but now some of the benefits of staying active, that's what I always share with the girls. If you forget everything I say, remember the importance of staying active in your pregnancy. Remember, it does reduce so many chronic diseases and ailments. It helps with diabetes. Some of the girls get high blood pressure. It definitely helps with that. Biggest one, it improves your mental and health state. So much is happening. Your hormones is crazy. Today you could be smiling and having that pregnancy glow. Tomorrow you're like, I just want to strangle the one that got me into this space. So we're going through all of these emotions. And so when we're staying active, remember we push those beautiful happy hormones. And when mom or pregnant lady or postpartum mom, if you've given birth already, sadly enough, there are some ladies, and some of that I've trained enough and seen the benefits of them training, they go through postpartum depression. And I think it's not just that 6 months after baby, that year. It could even be 5 years, 3 years. You feel like, oh my gosh, it's so much for me as a mom because you're overwhelmed with all these t-shirts, caps, and everything that you're carrying. When you find yourself in a space where you can improve your mental and health state. And I think lastly, I mean, as much as we're talking about the misconceptions, but also the benefits of it, it basically prepares your body already for child labor. And also not that, but it prepares your body for recovery. So I think with the misconceptions, like you said, the Magriza, the Magogo saying, oh, me, or Nana, you can't do this, you can't hang washing, you can't do this. It's all this. So like they say, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Everybody's going to give you advice. But for me, if you've already been active, remember pregnancy, it's not a disease. It's a beautiful space for you to be in. So it's a space where you're allowed to thrive. It's not back in the day where people say you need to be just sitting down and calling everybody to serve you, as much as we would love that in a perfect world. And thumbs up to those moms who have that support. Unfortunately, some of the moms out there don't have that support. They've just found out that they're pregnant with baby number 2 or 3, and partners left them. You have one mom training with me while she's busy with the toddler on her hip, so it's a lot that's going around. But I think more importantly, you need to understand why you're doing it. And for me, it's just about the importance of staying active.
I love that a lot. The importance of staying active and also highlighting the reasons. It's for your
Yes.
health benefit in the end of the day. It improves your mental state, which is very important for a mom to be and a mom that has just been. So a postpartum mom. Now, looking at the designs of your workouts, how do you ensure that they are both safe as well as effective for expecting new moms?
So obviously with every fitness coach, hey, you've got to, anybody can't just take a mom and let's train them. So I do a pre-screening with the mom. We also obviously in that pre-screening sheet or form or even interview, we would find out what are some of the medical conditions. So mom would say, I've had a C-section, or I've got lower back aches, I've got this, so you're already thinking, how do I modify this client? And then prior to even starting with the lady, you or the mom to be, or the postpartum mom, they have to get the clearance from the gynae, from the health practitioner, and they would get a screening letter, which would give the instructor, myself, the go ahead that the mom is mentally, physically fit to continue. Based on that, I would then work out a specific. I mean, you have the basic exercises that's needed, like I mentioned earlier, the squats, the lunges. What I do use, which is my niche in Cape Town, is I would like to say that I think I would like to say that I'm the top, one of the top super fitness coaches that
Yes,
works
girl.
that board and
Mm-hmm.
trains the ladies. And it's just
Mm.
fun. For me, it's about
Yes.
fun, focus, and fitness.
Mm.
And so then I would train the mom. Remember, every trimester, there's different exercises as coaches we're aware of. The mom in first trimester, she just wants to do all those crazy punches. It's just adrenaline, it's crazy. Second trimester, you see there's a bit of a flow of things. Third trimester, she just wants to squat. She wants to be working all those birthing exercises. We're on the ball, working the hips. So you also see prior to the mom's class, you're also finding out how you're feeling today. You're modifying the exercises, and yeah, a big part of it is on that day, on that hour, you're already engaging with the client. I mean, for me, what's beautiful, I do face-to-face classes, but I also do remote coaching. So in the comfort of your home, I'm at my home, you in your home as a mom or even a postpartum lady, and I'm engaging with you. I never just rush in 5 minutes into the session, just doing the workout. I'm checking with the mom what's happening. I mean, this is something I've also learned in the organization I work with, Columba. We speak about what's in your head, what's in your heart, and what's in your hands as a woman. And then when you sit and you listen to them going through the most, you already know what are some of those exercises I can do to almost like alleviate some of those issues and tissues that they just shared with me. But it is definitely it's personalized. So the way I would train you is totally different. I would train a mom that's 2 weeks ready for labor compared to a mom who's just 16 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
Every lady, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Every woman is different. I
Yeah.
always say every pregnancy is different, and every woman's needs are also different. And I think
Mm.
with that, in closing for that question, is don't be afraid to voice out your needs, your concerns.
Mm.
And yeah, just like they say, speak your truth.
Yeah.
And sometimes we feel when we speak our truth to another woman, we will be judged, we will look different. So for
Mm.
me, it's just coming to that 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour, and it's the two of us. We just engaging, and I'm here to support you. So yeah.
Excellent. I love that it's tailor made for each and every woman. So you don't have to be afraid and say, oh, but what if I don't get what has to be done? Or,
Exactly.
yeah, so on and so forth. So thank you for that. Can you describe a moment? I'm sure you've had many of these, but just maybe a moment that really comes to mind right now where you saw a mother's life, or confidence just transform because of your fitness ways, and the elements that you put in or the principles that you use within your fitness classes?
I think a lot for me, and I wish if especially for most of my ladies that train with me at the studio. So I've got these three big mirrors. And for me, I always say, I mean, I don't know if when you woke up this morning, I'm sure we did we look ourselves in the mirror? And I like to use the analogy of what is the narrative you speak to yourself daily? Like sometimes we have, oh, this doesn't fit me anymore, this is too much, or everything is just overwhelming. When I train with these girls, I always bring it back to self. I always bring it back to self. You've got to, as a woman, and again, a shout out to the woman, you've got to be your biggest critic, but also your biggest fan. What I've seen with these ladies when I'm teaching and sharing, and yes, with most of some of my girls, they're obviously not religious. I'm dealing with Christian girls, with Muslim girls, with a lot of ladies. I like this. There's a saying we used to say. I was part of another organization, Youth for Christ, and we used to say, preach the gospel at all times, and if necessary, use words. And so by me caring and sharing and just doing and being there for them, I'm sharing a little bit about the love of God and how God is really, going to be there for you. Because quite frankly, the day of labor, Natalie might not be there to hold your hand, Natalie, or hubby's
Mm,
not going to be there to tell you,
it's
breathe, breathe.
God.
He
Mm.
might be on WhatsApp there, telling the mom-in-law, oh, no, she's fine. And you're like, oh, get out the phone, come and hold my hand. Only thing that can keep you sane in that moment is breathing. Yeah, what's happening up here? What's happening up here? What is the word you're telling? What is that affirmation you're telling yourself for anything that you're going through life that feels like it's that pushing moment and everything is just too much? What is the narrative you have? So I have seen a lot of my girls. There's a different level of self-talk. There's a different level of confidence because I say yes, um, swing that pregnancy around. You're not like, oh my gosh, I'm so pregnant. And they have that waddle, that waddle pregnancy walk. I'm like,
Yep,
no,
yep,
wear
yep.
it proudly, girl. Wear it proudly. You're pregnant. And if you can skip in a
Have a
queuing, push
spring,
up
have a
tummy.
skip on your spring, have a spring on your skip.
Exactly. But mainly a lot of it has been their health conditions. A lot of them have managed their diabetes, the hypertension has gone down. A lot of them are saying that after I work out with you, they all say that. Most of them say that. I sleep better. I feel calmer. I sort of tell myself already how the day is going to be. So it all depends. I'm just different, and that's what they say. They know and they can feel. Nat, if I don't train, I feel the aches and the pains more. And hence they bug me. When's our next session? Because they know when Natalie works, I always say, I'm not here to feel sorry for you. I know. I'm here to
Oh,
empower you.
Natalie.
I'm here to empower you. So I'm not
Amen.
sorry for you. I'm here to
Yeah.
empower you. And then they call me the week after or a couple of days after they delivered or an hour after delivery. So I now understand why you said, Natalie, all of this and why you were pushing me so hard. And so, yeah, that for me is it's a beautiful transformation. When a woman finds that inner voice and that inner power that, yes, I can.
Amen.
Labor, they don't call it labor for nothing. It's hard work, girl. It's hard work. But your body was created to do this. And that's one of the biggest
Mm.
things I share with them. Yeah, that your body is created to do this.
I
So
love that.
what
And you just there to enhance that. That is already
exactly?
there. It's already, God has already designed you to be a woman that carries children and that births children.
Here we
But
go.
someone like Natalie is there to just remind you to stay strong, to stay healthy in the
Mm.
process of your pregnancy. Natalie, your last words, anything that you could change, one maybe societal belief or maybe a couple, but because of time, we don't have much about motherhood and fitness. What would it be in summing up everything that you have just said? I know that you've said a lot, but just summing it up now to leave that special message in someone's mind and heart.
Oh, that's a big one, eh? So I think what I've realized, a lot of women sometimes you feel like I can't join the gym, Nat.
Mm.
I can't stay active. So all of them are probably thinking that, but Nat, it's so easy for you to say. And the words, what which we know right now, there's no time, there's no energy, and thank you to our economical struggle right now. Sometimes ladies are feeling there's no
There's
money,
no
there's no
money.
funds, there's no money. But I would say if you understand your why, because it's so easy sometimes we buy a cold drink for 40 Rand, I'm making an example. It's very easy. But if I to tell somebody now it's 50 Rand for you to come and do a 30-minute session, a lot of women, sadly enough, contrary to this belief, to most beliefs, a lot of women is like, oh, I have to buy bread with that 50 Rand. I have to buy this. And that's what's happening. So I think for me, find people in your community. There's lots of options. There's lots of spaces where you can go do these private sessions, or you can do free classes. The only thing I want to say is please don't always just run to YouTube. Everybody feel like I can do a YouTube session, I can work out. There are certain things that you can do. But for me, go to the basics. Get out of your house. Go for a walk. Weekends are not just made for washing and dishes and scrubbing and windows and And then Sunday night comes and you are pooped out. Make
You're
the
moch.
time. You moch, you are finished. And you got to do the whole thing again the whole week.
Oh my
Make the
goodness.
time for your mental and wellness. Make the time for your own.
Mm.
Make 30 minutes at least. You owe it to yourself. I want to be 60. I want to be 80, and I still want to be training. I still want to have that energy, but I've got to look after myself. Remember, what we put in is what we're going to get out. We also coming to a space in the age where we're like, there's just so much happening around us. But we've got to be intentional and put yourself first. Don't feel scared and ashamed and guilty for putting yourself first. If it just means, guys, I'm gonna go take a little breather outside. Go in nature. Nature has God's beautiful creation has a beautiful way of just calming you and sort of like resetting that nervous system. And when our nervous system and everything feels out of place, we become at home. Even the food doesn't taste nice. The food doesn't taste nice.
Nothing
So
does.
when you're staying active, when you're doing something, when you're even around other women, it gives you that ooze moment. And it gives you a time to say, you know what? I've got this. And sometimes you're gonna have to say that to yourself. You've got this. And sometimes you're gonna need to tell another girl, just call me now and again and tell me I've got this because I don't feel I got it.
I love
Make the
it.
time for yourself. When you stay active, it pushes the happy hormones. When you're happy, look after self. Self looks after others. Like that old saying in the aeroplane, put the mask on self before you put the mask on others. There we go.
Oh, Natalie, thank you so much for just your bubbly personality, for
Thank
your
you.
heart, the heart that you have for women. It is a beautiful one. It's one that, is seeking to empower women. Like you're saying, I'm not here to feel sorry for you, but I'm here to empower you so that you can do what you are made to do anyway. I'm just that
Yes.
voice that says you can do it or do it this way rather.
Yes.
So thank you for that. Please give us the details for Fit Moms, your social media handles and website and all those important information that someone will be able to, so someone can be able to connect with you.
So with the website, you can just follow me on www.fitmoms.co.za, and on the socials, if you search Natalie Fit Moms, it will definitely pop up, or you'll basically will see Natalie Fit Moms. So anything on Facebook, on TikTok, and like they say, like, subscribe, and follow. And maybe I want to close with this one. I made a note of this earlier when I was driving last week about the whole. I've got the saying, hi guys, like, subscribe, and follow. Like yourself,
Hey, bestie.
subscribe to a community or a purpose, and then follow your heart and gut inner voice, woman. Like yourself. First one,
I like
at least
that.
like yourself, and then subscribe to something, a community, a purpose, find somebody, find a group or whatever. And then lastly, follow your heart and that gut and that inner voice. So
Sure.
we can go on for forever
We
here.
can.
I know.
I
So
think I
much,
need
so
to
much.
invite you again, or we need to find space for you somewhere here on this show. Thank you so much
Beautiful.
for your energy, your zest for life,
Oh, thank
your love
you.
for God. Natalie, may God continue to bless you and bless you
Thank you.
abundantly. May you continue to do great and mighty exploits in
Oh,
this
thank you so
life.
much.
And may God just, open a supernatural doors for you. And may you go to spaces that you never even thought possible for you. God bless you, my
Thank
sister,
you.
and continue to
Bless you
be
too,
the
my darling.
queen that you are. Love you, queen.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye
Thanks, everyone.
bye.